The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. All right, we're going to get to this audio here while Kenzie looks up the Octagon Girls. Some of the stuff we played yesterday, we got in this conversation about the funniest thing you've ever seen on TV, live. For example, the Dennis Green rant for the Bears game when the Bears came back and beat the Cardinals on Monday Night Football was one of the most funniest things I ever saw in my life.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears? Would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
The reporter at the end goes, oh, thanks, Coach. Appreciate the answer.
Daisy.
Wow.
Touchy subject.
So funny.
He really sounds like Porky Pig at the beginning because he's so frustrated he can't get his words out.
Let's see here.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
I had never heard this audio until we played it.
Yep.
So he's
You never
saying,
heard this Dennis Green audio?
No.
Oh, my God.
So he is saying, just for context, that they thought the Bears sucked. Like, they are who we thought we were. We were good, but they messed up. Like, we gave it to them. What do you want to pretend they're good? Like, give them a cry? I'm very confused.
I can give you a little behind the music on this actual audio.
Like behind this audio.
Behind the 30-second audio, because I have a friend. This is exclusive information here on Brian and Kenzie Q101, who was a coach on that Cardinals team. He was an assistant coach. So he was in the locker room pregame for that. And he said what Dennis Green was spitting out in that crazy triggered rant at the end of the game was his pregame speech saying, look, the Bears are who we think they are, okay? Don't believe the hype. At that time, there was a little bit of hype around that coming into that game. Because we're going to win this game. We can take this out. So when he's ranting in that point of saying the Bears are who we thought they were and we let them off the hook, he's saying that
they are bad.
Right.
Okay.
Or we're better than them. We should have beat them, and we let them off the hook. He went crazy, though, like K-State, because Porky Pig started sounding there. He did.
The Bears suck.
Would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we.
Wait, the Bears are who thought they were.
And then
Like
at the end,
Popeye, like when they forgot to do the spinach, so they lost.
and then he just repeats his pregame
Field.
speech.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
You know what I imagine?
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
I don't know if he hit a table, but I imagine him slapping the reporter is what that sound is.
It's a podium, so he's on the podium.
Oh, okay.
And he almost knocked it over.
I imagine just bitch slapping the poor reporter.
Oh, my God. The sound that made is incredible.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Never really noticed the sound before.
That's a closed palm for
Yeah.
sure.
Dennis Green was, rest in peace, was a thick man, man. He was.
Now, if you want to crown them,
Damn.
I can't believe it didn't get knocked
That
over
sounds
like
like
hit
Will
somebody.
Smith is in that thing.
damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Thanks, Coach. Oh, there's so many more I want to play here. We've kind of run out of time here for a second. If there's one more I got to play. Is it the B guy or is it the pilots?
Pilots.
Yeah, can you play the pilots?
Play the pilot.
This was our most requested one
Yes.
yesterday. Everybody wanted to hear this.
So this was another tragic incident, not a football game, but a plane crash where people died. And in an effort to get on the air quickly with information, this news station in California put on the names of the pilots of the plane, but they were not really the names of the pilots. Wrong information.
We have new information now also on the plane crash. KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong.
I just can't believe this made it past. Like, this got vetted.
So Kenzie, real quick before you play the rest of them. So what we found out yesterday, and I forget who texted this in, but thank you to that person. The story behind this is that an intern is the one that came up with these names and slipped it to the anchors to get back at the anchors.
Must have been his last day.
Yeah. This is why they don't want free interns anymore.
I know.
So the first captain was Sum Ting Wong. The next captain.
We too low.
See the plane crash, so they're too low.
So you see what they did there?
Okay, thank you, Brian, for the mind twister.
So, Kenzie, you see why it's funny, right? So they're in a plane, you see.
I don't know if you're getting my gist.
See, what happened was they were too low.
So that was the joke, right, Kenzie?
Oh, my God.
And here's the next pilot name.
Ho Lee Fook.
And finally, the best one.
And Bang Ding Ow.
Can you play it? Can you play it in one fell swoop?
Yeah, let's just get it all in here together.
4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ow. And the NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots.
How did she do that?
That sucks.
After the first one, didn't she go like, wait a minute,
No.
this is not right?
It's live, baby.
I know, but she went all in and kept going. She could have stopped, but she was like, you know
Well,
what?
because she was probably paranoid, because what if these were their names and she just insulted them? And
You know how offensive it would be if she was like, well, these can't be their names.
There's no way these are real names. Like, how dare you? They just died, and now you're going to insult them? That's a very tough decision live on TV.
Yeah, Captain Sum Ting Wong had a really great track record with the flight.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So, yeah, we were talking about cicadas for like a year and what was going to happen here. And all of us, and I'm in, the north side with Case in the city, and Kenzie's out in Elgin area. And I thought for sure you were going to tell me you've seen a bunch already, Kenzie, and you haven't. But a lot of people checking in about seeing the cicadas. Case, what are you on the text line there?
Jilly checked in from Frankfurt. Jilly, cute name, fun name. She said she's been feeding buckets full of cicadas to her chickens every day.
Oh, God. I hope they're not chicken she's going to eat.
Well,
I don't want
man, cycle of life. I never even thought about that.
I would not want a cicada-filled chicken. You know, they're like grass-fed. It's like, bleh.
It's cicada-fed.
Cicada-quality beef and chicken is disgusting.
All of a sudden, now I'm craving a cicada-filled chicken.
I'm going to throw up.
Oh, boy.
Well, I haven't seen any, and somebody texted it and said if you live in a newly developed area, you probably won't have them. And like our neighborhood had like tons of construction and got built up. So, I mean, let me just take this W for a minute of no cicadas.
What'd you guys? What? Did you put a concrete barricade underneath and they can't get up or something from the ground?
A wall.
Yeah.
You built a wall.
And she made the cicadas pay for it.
Yeah. Well, it's my 17-year tax evasion's bullcrap. You should all be arrested.
Yeah, a lot of people are seeing a lot of them just in, like, Chad checked out, I found some cicadas in my tree, and he saran wrapped his tree, too, to try to make them so they wouldn't climb up, because they do that, but they went right through it, the saran wrap. Yeah. They're known to do that. They'll tear up your trees. Dakata's checking it.
Dakota, not Takeda.
Dakota.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. That was the best way to do that, my friend. I'm ready.
A regular crew member, Dakota, so you're up in the north suburb area.
I am. So I'm up in Glenview. And so Glenview, Niles, Morton Grove, we are covered with them. And I was telling Case yesterday, one started climbing up my leg when I was standing in the grass.
Gross.
Oh, yeah. The other day when I was leaving Trader Joe's, one was actually sitting on my headrest in the passenger seat. So that was cool.
On your headrest?
Yeah, in the car.
Wow.
Yeah, just flew right in. And then I sent Kenzie a photo of them actually getting it on, like right in front of me when I was walking my dog about 10 minutes ago.
Right in front of my salad?
Yeah, I know, right?
Only a select group will understand.
They're fascinating. There's a really nice constant roar of the sound and then the chirping. So, I mean, it's really exciting. I would say if you guys are missing out, come on up north. They are around everywhere up here.
All right. We'll head on up there.
Someone texted in a picture of a bunch of them that they deep fried.
Yeah, I've heard.
And they're eating them. No.
Thanks, Dakota, for checking in. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Annie, Cicada, checking in. Annie says, my dog has found that he loves cicadas. Probably has eaten about 200 in the last couple weeks here.
You're not supposed to eat that many.
Well, we talked about this earlier because we want to make sure your doggies are okay. And it's okay if they kind of eat one, it's been said, but they very vague saying they shouldn't eat a lot of them.
I like how it's like limited diet. Like you have one a day, like a cookie.
That's right.
One little treat. You can't go overboard. You're going to get, diabetes.
Also, someone had bad news for you that chickens, they eat a lot of insects. They don't just eat grass. When they say it's grass-fed, there's still insects on there. So your chickens that you're eating have eaten a lot of stuff.
Well, that's super disappointing. None of this news could make things any worse.
Oh, man. Let's see. Lauren checked in from 630. I have so many cicadas right outside my work office. It's like battling a swarm every time I arrive or leave.
Wow.
I would lose my mind if one touched me. Like, I wouldn't want it on me. It's like with this little sex feet. I would hate it.
Sex feet?
It's probably sticky. Yeah, they're just having sex and they're flying around and get off of me.
You don't think they clean up after sex?
No, I don't think they clean themselves.
So their feet are sticky.
I think they're sticky and they're gross and they smell like it.
You know when you're on a good run, Brian. You got that sex feet going on.
I never clean my feet after sex.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for the weekend Q101. Everything going on in and around Chicagoland. A lot of free things for you. And you may not be aware of, it's supposed to be a pretty nice weekend, at least today and Sunday. Saturday's a little iffy, but here we go. Let's get into it. Case, you want to start with the music as you usually do?
I would love to, because I'll be at the Metro tonight. I've talked to a number of listeners who are going to be there as well. So if you are there and you see me, please say hello. The band Drain, who played Riot Fest last year and by all accounts have been banned from Riot Fest because of their performance last year. They are at the Metro tonight for Drain's Beach Party. 7 bands performing in one night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
They got banned because they told people to come over the barricade, I think?
Right. Yeah, so Drain they started as a punk band with a lot of like thrash elements. If you're into early Metallica or Anthrax or something like that, you'd really like Drain. And they're not used to playing shows with barricades. More often than not with their shows, you can just get up on stage and then jump off. And they were like, well, it's Riot Fest. They'll probably be cool and they'll be okay with people running up on stage. Riot Fest was not okay with it.
Not okay.
And you can hear more about that story on Q101's YouTube channel with A Case for Drain, where I interviewed them right after that set. And they were like, yeah, we think we just got banned from this festival. This is a bummer.
You think they would have gotten like one strike or something?
No, they struck out.
Yeah.
They were really bummed.
Oh, no.
So that's tonight. I just heard they added a few more tickets. That show was sold out, but that show is going to be a ton of fun. I know we've got a bunch of listeners going to that, so I will be there as well.
Do you think there's going to be a barricade there?
There is a barricade because the Metro doesn't do non-barricade shows anymore, but last night...
They're going to be like, nobody move!
No. So they
We're running out of venues. Stop it!
Everybody stand in your little 1 foot square corner.
No, you can't sing either.
Everybody's bubble. No, they played last night, and security was very cool. They would let people crawl over the barricade, get on stage, and then jump off the stage and over the barricade. It was very fun.
Sounds like my kids at the pool.
I gotta say,
just keep going.
If you watch the security at the Metro,
they're the best.
It's like a coordinated effort so you have fun, but yet don't get hurt.
Nobody got hurt last night. It was really fun.
For the shows that go in there like that, the hardcore shows, they do probably the best job I've ever seen a venue do as far as not being jerks as the security guys at the barricade. They want you to have fun, and they let you have as much fun as you can without getting hurt.
This is an incredible text. Somebody thought you said Train got banned from Riot Fest. I couldn't believe they were so rough.
No, I think Train's headlining this year.
Allowed to be there. Not so much for Train.
That's really funny. So also tonight at the Aragon, Frank Turner is there with the Sleeping Souls. I know we have a bunch of staff going to that. So I think Lauren might be there. That'll be a really good time. That's at the Aragon. Turnpike Troubadours, one of Brian's favorite bands. They are at the Salt Shed tonight.
I got such a hectic schedule, but I'm going to really try to get there. I've heard they put on an incredible live show, and I've never seen them live, but my buddy has, and said you got to go see them at the Salt Shed. So I don't even know if there's tickets left, but I'm going to try to get in that show.
That's right. And then Jeff Tweedy's at the Vic tonight and tomorrow. Chicago Legend. That show is sold out because it's Jeff Tweedy at the Vic. But if you're there, have fun.
By the way, if you want to hear some of what happened with Train and the people jumping on stage over the barricade, it sounded like this, you know.
She checks out most of what she does. Chapel reminds me that there's room to grow.
Get out of my way, Paul!
Open it up.
You know, Train live, it just transcends a little differently.
I would jump off a stage.
People want to jump over the barricade and get on the stage.
Every real Train fans know it's live. The record doesn't do them justice.
Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day?
This isn't ready.
Head back to the Milky Way. Tell me.
And then a circle pit forms.
Honestly, what an incredible song, man.
I have no problem saying it. I love this song.
So good.
Hey Soul Sister was an abomination. Drops of Jupiter. That's where it's at, baby.
Damn, what a song. How do you write a song like that?
I know.
That's beautiful.
And the guy is so pretty.
I know.
He's so pretty as a singer.
Makes you hate yourself, doesn't it?
I really hope Train's at Riot Fest this year. I'm going to be disappointed now. Fried chicken. Best friend always sticking up for you.
Okay. There we go. That's Train. So
Who's not here this weekend?
Weekend Q101. Kenzie, what do you got going on?
Windy City Hot Dog Fest in Portage Park. This is super fun. So there's actually a competition for who's got that best dog. Okay, there's gonna be tons of different kinds.
Oh, man.
Which I love tasting different kinds of hot dogs. I don't want to hear any commentary on that. I mean that in a clean way. I like hot dogs. Okay, I'm very
Is that
excited about
noted
this.
clear enough?
Yeah, don't come at me. Can I just enjoy my hot dog in peace? Okay.
Clearly not.
Can I be a woman who likes a hot dog? Anyways, there's also, not only is there like a competition for the best one, which you get to vote as the fest goers. There's not like an elite group of hot doggers who are going to ruin this.
Hot doggers.
You know, who think that they know everything. But we get to decide. We the people. It's like the presidency, and I love that. And then there's a hot dog eating competition, which I always find very exciting. I love to see people eat a lot of hot dogs.
That's what I don't like, to be honest. I mean, I love going to eat hot dogs all day, and once I see that, I can't eat a hot dog after that.
I have to already be full for sure. I'm not like now I'm starving, but I find it fascinating.
Well, the people that can do it, obviously, like what's the big guy? What's his
Joey
name?
Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think what you can do, and he's not fat either. Like I don't know how he eats all those 200 hot dogs and just like
It's unbelievable.
got abs.
My Weight Watchers points would be out of here. I'd have none left.
Did you see, by the way, that Takira Kobayashi, who's like the second best hot dog eater, he retired?
I've seen him in person. I've seen him do his thing in person. It's unbelievable.
He retired. He says he no longer feels hungry.
Oh, okay.
Is that your joke? Or is that real?
No, that's real. That's what I wasn't being funny. That was real.
Wait, is that why people do it? Because they're just so hungry? I didn't think that was why.
That's unreal. All right, so the weekend Q101, things going on this weekend. Man, I have a lot. With this afternoon, it starts with Q101, 3 o'clock. I will be your host for the Papa Roach Lounge. I cannot wait. We've given away a lot of passes, a lot of Q101.com. So Papa Roach will be streaming live at Q101's Facebook page. So if you didn't make it in, just make sure you watch. And then I may make it to that show tonight with the Turnpike Troubadours. Tomorrow, I'll be going to Mayfest. That's in my neighborhood, Oktoberfest at Lincoln Square. It's near my neighborhood, I should say. But, man, the pretzels, the beer, it's a great festival over there in Lincoln Square. And just like Picnic coming up here in 3 weeks at the Taste of Randolph, you know, it's essentially free, we like to say, but really a donation to the neighborhood. $10 donation gets you all that, the music, the food, the drink, the socializing in the sun. This is what Chicago's all about, is these street fests. So Mayfest this weekend and a ton more. But remember, Picnic is only 3 weeks away to Taste of Randolph. That's going to be amazing. And then I'm going to the Chicago Fire game tomorrow night.
Fun.
I know.
Is that your first one?
You know, I've never been. I've been to everything in Chicago over so many years of 15 years of living in the city and never been to a Chicago Fire game. And I'm going because Megan's company has a suite there and they got us some extra tickets.
So you're not going to sit with the real fans.
Oh, I'll be like, looking down on the peasants.
Same way you did with Pearl Jam, not with the real fans.
Yeah.
In a suite.
Yeah, I try to get myself in the suite, but I mean, maybe I'll wheeze my way down to the crowd to show one of the people, take a picture for that to show people I was actually there, and then go back to the suite and be, elite, I guess.
You're just like a politician. You're just, it's deceitful.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah, shake babies, kiss hands. Oh, wait. No, shake hands, kiss babies.
Something like that.
Not supposed to shake babies. I tell you that.
Chicago Fire having a rough season. And LA's really good, so I can't wait for that tomorrow night. Remember, everything with this, all the stuff you've heard, there's way more at Q101.com. Case makes a great blog about the weekend Q101. Get out and do something.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's time for Case's movie review. So, Case the producer, if you've just joined the show and don't know exactly why we're doing Dazed and Confused, a movie that came out in 1993, is because Case the producer at 25 years old, I got tired of making movie references and him never getting any of them because he's never seen any movies. His favorite movie is Boys in the Hood. Great movie, but that's the only movie he'd seen. Now he's seen a plethora of them in the last 3 months, like Shawshank, The Matrix, some of the biggest movies. And you're a better person, right?
I'd like to think so. I really enjoy doing this. I always thought I didn't like watching movies. Turns out a lot of them are pretty good.
Shocking.
Hot take.
Yeah. Oh, brave of you.
Well, thank you.
Well, so it came to the point of you're doing Dazed and Confused with Matthew McConaughey, among other people in this movie. And Ben Affleck. I forgot Ben Affleck is in this as a small role as well.
I don't think he looks like him in this movie, so I didn't realize it was him until almost the very end.
You got people like Cole Hauser that went on to many things. Joey Lauren Adams was on the Jay and Silent Bob movies.
Parker Posey, who we'll talk about in just a second.
Yeah, there was a lot. Adam Goldberg, who went on to be in like Saving Private Ryan, a movie you should have probably watched this week with Memorial Day. I should have thought of that.
Oh, sorry.
Damn. But Matthew McConaughey was nobody when this movie came out. In fact, there's a story behind that. But first, let's just take you back to when Dazed and Confused came out. Here is the trailer from 1993.
Country is founded by people who were in the aliens, man. George Washington, man, he was in a cult. And the cult was in the aliens, man. You didn't know that? No. Oh, man, they were way into that type of stuff, man.
It was the first day of summer vacation.
You guys know anything about a party here tonight?
No, sir.
It was a time they will never forget.
New Fiesta in the making as we speak.
I thought he was cute.
Oh, that's this.
You thought he was cute?
Do you realize when he graduated, we were like 3 years old?
If only they could remember it.
Okay. So you're not going to go to law school? What do you want to do then? I want to dance.
Dazed and Confused. See it with a bud.
Behind every good man, there's a woman. And that woman was Martha Washington, man. And every day George would come home, she'd have a big fat bowl waiting for him, man, when he'd come to the door, man. She was a hip lady, man.
Oh, it's so good to hear these trailers, man.
Now, was that Lee Schreiber's voice?
No, it was not. No, not in this one. Not in this movie.
I'm never going to get to hear it.
Oh, it's a movie. This is why I just don't think you. I'll get your opinion in a second. I just think you don't like it because it's a bunch of people hanging out having a good time.
I mean, how fun was that trailer? Did you see Case getting beat red just with anger? All these people having fun.
All right, Case. So what do you got?
Do you want me to start with the good or the bad?
Start with the good of Dazed and Confused. Your take on it.
This movie does one thing that I really, really like that I thought was interesting, which is that it accurately portrays the transfer of power when you're a high school junior that becomes an incoming high school senior, and all of a sudden you think you own the world, that you're the top dog, that you really matter more than everybody else. I obviously haven't seen a lot of movies, but the thing I liked about this was I feel like whenever you watch Dazed and Confused, you can point to people in your own life that are all of these characters. And I remember going to high school with a lot of people that were very like reserved juniors, and then they became a senior and they thought they were top dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that was. And this whole movie is based around that idea. I really liked that.
Okay, good. I think that's pretty accurate because everybody has a Wooderson, the guy from high school that still hangs out around high school that graduated like 6 years ago.
Yes.
I peeked there.
Yeah.
And then they come in, they're like, man, this is lockers in the same spot. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And a Randall Pink Floyd, the quarterback, and
a tortured athlete, somebody who feels like they're forced to play sports also, which is an interesting thing.
yeah, weird side thing on him on that
Yeah.
one because you thought he'd be this total jock who he can hang with, but he also could hang with the nerds and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I had a friend like that in high school who was friends with me and then friends with smart kids and then friends with jocks. And I would ask him, I go, why are you friends with me? I don't understand. Like, you have cooler friends than me. It's like, nah, I just get along with everybody, man. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so
I
good.
really
So he's
like
just a
that.
good person to bully people.
He was a good person.
And you're like, what's wrong with you?
Kind of.
Yikes.
Stay in your group.
Yeah, please.
Stay in your one group.
We're all
Case-
supposed to be in separate groups.
We like segregation. Case was pro segregation.
In a weird way, Dazed and Confused was like the Breakfast Club version. That was the 80s, and Dazed and Confused was like the 70s.
I haven't seen The Breakfast Club, so I don't know.
I know. That's on.
My heavens.
That's got to be on the list.
My heavens.
I can't.
All right, what's the bad of Dazed and Confused?
This whole town is just obsessed with spanking people. It's the weirdest thing. This whole movie is based around these 18-year-old boys that are like, I gotta spank this 15-year-old. I gotta get him.
Well, when you say it like that.
It's the weirdest thing.
You know what? Kenzie, he's really, I haven't seen it in a long time, but he's kind of right when you think about it the first time watching it now. It is a weird arc of the movie where they try to spank the other
They're
kids.
just having a good old time. You gotta ruin it.
The freshmen leave this high school and they're like, well, here's our summer. We're going to get spanked. And so they try to race home, and there are seniors running after them trying to spank them. Yeah. And then
Okay, so make it weird. Okay.
I like that. One of the kids gets home, and the mom whips open the front door, and she's got a shotgun. She's pointing a shotgun at these teenagers because she's like, you're not going to spank my son. And then later, I started thinking about Kenzie when I was watching this because... you have a 10-year-old son right now.
Please do tell.
Yeah, no, hear me out on this one. You have a 10-year-old son who plays baseball, and there's a chance, and I know this is what the family wants, that eventually he'll become a high school baseball player.
Not the whole family.
Kenzie's been to enough games. She's good.
It's a house divided, if you will.
Yeah.
Think about if your son was a freshman in high school. He's on the pitcher's mound, and all of a sudden a group of seniors come into the stands with a paddle and are like, hey, after the game, your ass is mine.
And they mean that, his ass. Because they're going to spank his ass with a paddle.
I'd be like, let's do it during the game and get this thing wrapped up. Or are we going to play the whole thing?
There is a lot of bullying in this movie, like with those guys, and then the girls that haze the freshmen.
So
girls?
The girls are interesting because the ringleader... in the early scene where they're spraying ketchup and mustard on these freshmen is Parker Posey. And full transparency, I have a huge crush on her. I think she's one of the coolest people to ever exist. And I got excited when I saw that she was in this because I only know her from TV shows. I had never seen her in a movie before.
What shows was she on?
She was on Louie, which was Louis C.K.'s show.
Oh,
And she plays like a cool New York, mysterious girlfriend. And I just fell in love with her there. So I was like, oh, great. This is going to be a movie about Parker Posey. She's got a ton of dialogue and feature in the early part of this movie. And then after she puts ketchup and mustard on some freshman girls, she largely just disappears, which I thought was super disappointing. I really wanted more of her character in it because I thought she was funny. I thought she was interesting. I'd like to know how she interacted with the boys, but it just doesn't really happen. That was a huge letdown.
Well, have you seen Josie and the Pussycats?
No.
Big role in there if you want to see her talk more.
Oh, noted. Good to know. All right, add us to the list.
If you need more Parker Posey.
I do. I love her.
I mean, the hero of this movie did become Wooderson, which is Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Who was a production guy on the movie. And then he just started doing Wooderson. And the director finally said the guy they hired for Wooderson is like, oh, no. Matthew McConaughey is Wooderson. Sorry, you're out. And that was his first movie role. And his best speech. This is one of his, first of course, all right.
Which is very cool.
And then this one from the football field. Is that what this is?
Yeah, this is one of the last scenes of the movie. But I just like the way that he delivered this so much that I want to put this in here.
Let me tell you this. The older you do get, the more rules are going to try to get you to follow. You just got to keep living, man. Livin. Man, if you're gonna sign that paper, man, you should throw a little grass right in the middle, man. Roll it up, sign the joint, man. That's gonna tell them something. That's what I'll do. Yeah.
I like the end of that, too, just because it really fits the theme of the movie.
And maybe there's someone out there that hasn't seen it. They're talking about a paper the athletes had to sign and say they wouldn't do drugs or drink, which I remember signing that in high school sports,
I had
too.
to.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in sports, really.
Yeah. No, you told us you were a lacrosse player.
I did everything for a season. It wasn't a committed.
Like a code of conduct paper you had to sign.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the premise of the movie, a lot of it is that, to not sign that paper.
So Wooderson's a very funny character. I like him a lot, but he raises a question that I guess I have because he represents a larger issue in the movie, and maybe you guys can speak to this. And it's not his love of underage girls. We're going to skip past that. That's an issue, but we all know that's an issue.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. We didn't know.
Yeah, I love them high school girls, man. I get older, but they stay the same age.
Yeah, we just had no idea. It was like concussions.
That's what Brian's bumper sticker on his cars.
How about that line?
It's a good movie.
How about that line in that movie, man?
I'd really rather not think about it.
But it did define who Wooderson was.
Oh, 100%. But here's the thing. This movie all takes place over one day. And do these kids just have nothing to do? The whole movie, for those that haven't seen it, It's a bunch of kids getting into various cars, drinking various beer at various locations.
Well, sounds like a busy day.
Every scene is, I'm going to get into this car and drink a beer here. And then I'm going to go over here in this car and I'm going to drink a beer here. Why do they have nothing to do?
It was a better time. There was no internet. There was no phones. You had to go outside to go.
You had to go find people.
Like the whole, in the movie, the party gets canceled.
Yeah.
They can't figure out how to get another party started and why that party got canceled.
This is what I was trying to figure out was, how did all the kids know that the party got canceled? Because there was supposed to be a party at a house.
Word of mouth, baby. Traveled fast.
It'd be like Kenzie's surprise party. You know, everybody just knew where it was going. Nope, they had to go to the house and get threatened by the dad.
Yeah.
It just really captured a moment of what that life was. And the funny part is the director, Richard Linklater, he got sued like 10 years later by all the guys of the characters of the movie, the real life people they were based on, like Wooderson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Wooderson and Randall Pink Floyd. And I think the guy that played Slater, the real stoner, he's the guy's like, George Washington, man. Washington, see, Martha had a big fat joint waiting for him every time he came home. They all sued him because they said he made them look like potheads, and that's all they were. Well, they were. They all grew up together, and they were potheads. And sorry, they grew up to be like lawyers.
The
and
movie's great. Why does it bother you?
If I was in a movie, if I was in Dazed and Confused, I'm like, hell yeah, I used to be cool. It's awesome.
It's just so weird to me that I never lived without pre-internet. I really don't remember a time, like I had a cell phone in 5th grade. I don't really remember a time before cell phones. It's just so weird, just everybody's loitering and lingering at all of these various locations.
I feel very grateful because I am 29 and I got both, which is really, really nice. I'm the one generation that grew up for a long time without it and then like got to high school and had it, which is good because it's like at least I know how to use everything, but then also I got to not have it. I can 10 out of 10 confirm life was much better phone and everything, because I remember enjoying my life, and then I got one, and I'm like, so I'm just gonna get bullied for the rest of my life. This is not good. I would like to return this, please.
Since I'm only a little older than you, Kenzie, just a little bit, that I remember high school without the internet, and it was much like, even though it wasn't the 70s, but it was much like this vibe where like you just went to someone's house and said, hey, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's figure something out.
All right, let's drive around.
Let's get out of the car. Let's drive over to Jeff's house. All right, let's see what's going on over there. As you just did that.
I wouldn't leave my house without specific plans of what we're going to do. I'm not driving around with anybody.
Find people. You don't understand, kids. You have to find people.
Yep. Case wanted a PDF of what they were going to do for the concert before the concert.
What sucked is that people couldn't really confirm or deny very often. So sometimes you'd plan something, and obviously everyone was just late or decided they couldn't show up day of, which happens, and you get text, right?
Yeah.
No, you would just be there, and no one would come.
I'd be irate. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah, so you're like, I guess you'd wait. How many times did you wait for people and be like, okay, I probably have a message at home, so let me just leave.
That's such a good point, because if you went to like a concert, you were supposed to meet somebody, they didn't show up. Today, you'd think they were dead if they didn't text you.
Right.
But back then, you were like, I remember seeing my buddy the next day. He's like, no, I hooked up with Michelle. I saw her over the Dairy Queen, and we just hang out.
So you would just leave people.
You'd bail on plans.
I can't count the amount of times I waited at a coffee shop or a movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess I'll just go in. I guess I'll just leave with my drink. And when I get home or see them in a week, I'll find out what happened.
Yup.
iPads are pretty cool, guys. I don't know. I'm pretty happy to go with an iPad.
So, Dazed and Confused, what kind of rating do you give it before we leave here?
Out of 10, I guess I'd give it 6 joints out of 10 joints.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's fun. I don't know if it's good as much as it is fun. It's almost like a Bloodhound Gang album where it's like, well, it's not the best music I've ever heard, but I see what they're doing. I kind of like this.
Oh, my God. Okay, we'll take that. That's
I'm fine. Look.
All your reviews, by the way, should be joints. It should be like 6 joints out of 10, 7 joints out of 10. It doesn't matter what movie. For Saving Private Ryan, it should be a joint rating.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.